So you've turned up at the lake and your spools aren't full enough and you need to re-spool again. So what do? Easy fix. Get yourself a bucket of water and in there put some lake water. Drop your spool in there basically, and then add to that just a small amount of water from your kettle. You want it tepid, you don't want this boiling. And warm water basically will help that line relax and it will help it come off the spool a lot easier, a lot neater, and you'll get better line lay. Once your line has been soaked up for a while, I tend to leave it for about an hour, something like that, just enough for the water to penetrate the spool. Then what you need to do is get your reel, empty it of your old line, open your bail arm, get yourself a little bit of electrical tape, and all you need is a little tiny piece, enough like so, because what I'm going to do is I'm going to stick the end of the line to the spool. I don't use a knot. The reason I don't use a knot is that as small as that knot can be, for your line lay, once you start winding on, you have an area on the spool where you've got a little tiny hump, and me personally, I think it just knocks it out a little bit. So I get the end of the line, you want to thread it through the butt guide, like so. That helps it come off the spool and onto the reel nice and easily. Go to your spool, just catch that line under the tape like so. Yeah, push it all down nice and flat, look. So it's all nice and neat now, look, ready to go onto the reel. Close your bail arm, which traps your line. Using your couple of fingers, take hold of the blank so the line now is nice and tight to the reel, and start winding the line on. Now at this point, what I'm keen to do is I'm keen to ensure that as the line comes off the spool, it's coming off that spool without twisting it. So it's coming off nice and easy, look. Yeah, no twist, no kinks or anything. Now if you find for whatever reason that all of a sudden you've got a lot of spin in your line and it's coming up in too tighter coils, turn the spool over. That's all to do with the way that the factories put the line onto the spool. It may have been put on reverse or it may have been put on forward. So do check that as your line comes off that spool, you haven't got any twists or kinks in it. And that way, as you fill the spool, it goes on nice and smooth, nice and easy, and you should end up with a nice perfect line lay. And obviously you want to do this under tension, yeah. Now important fact here as well, like obviously when you're filling spools up, you need to ensure that you don't overfill. If you overfill, you will end up with issues on the first cast whereby you'll end up with just like a frap up or a load of coils coming off too fast or whatever. So you just need to fill up within a couple of mil of the lip of the spool. That way, you should be able to get perfect casting and perfect line lay. And there we go, all spooled up, lovely line lay. And in this case, I'm using Sonic Invisicam 22 pound.